Good afternoon, and welcome back to another episode of the Grimaldo Group, where we love helping families create wealth through homeownership. And my name's Angel, and with me is Juan Grimaldo. How are you, Juan?
Terrific, Angel. Good to see you.
Yes, I do look like a firefighter wearing this new polo, red in color.
I like it. Has some life.
What do you guys think? Should I go back to wearing black, or is red pretty good?
I like it, man. I think it gives you, it's your color, isn't it? It's your favorite color.
I think so. I mean, one day I'm going to have a nice red sports car, maybe a Porsche 911.
Maybe
4S.
you will have one.
Yes. That's
You know
I'm
what?
wondering.
I wanted to talk about that too. Like last week actually, when we were in El Valle de Guadalupe, we went to wine country actually a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
I found out that I had a little accident. I had a dream car, and I was able to purchase it about a year and a half ago. And I didn't purchase it. I leased it. I don't buy cars. I lease them because, they're disposable, right?
Correct.
And
Not an investment.
tax benefit. So anyways, that was on my vision board. And this morning I was thinking about it. I'm listening to Grant Cardone. You know who Grant is?
Oh, yes.
And big shout out to Grant. He inspired us a lot to do what we do and do not be average, but be obsessed, right? With
Fired
the right
up.
things. So anyways, I got the news that, so we had a little accident and it was something minimal, I thought. And they took it to the shop and it was gone for a month. And I called the shop. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, well, we're still waiting to see, what the damage is. We're going to open it up. And I'm like, well, open it up soon because I need it, right? I'm paying for this car that I don't have. So they call me like a week later and they say, you know what? We can't fix it because it takes a special shop to do this kind of work. So they send it to another shop. And then the other shop, I call them like, so what's going on? They're like, well, we're going to check into it. All right. So another 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by.
Wow.
And almost 2 months in, I'm like, so what's going on? They're like, well, it's actually going to be triple than what they quoted you. They quoted me $10,000 for the first repair. So it wasn't going to be over $30,000. And I'm like, I don't think the insurance is going to pay for that.
Whoa.
So long story short, they totaled the car and I was bummed out. I like my car. It's a nice Beamer. And for the longest time, it was my dream car. So I was able to drive it. It's pretty fast. It's awesome. And I never took pictures of me with the car. I don't know if I feel guilty or I don't know why. What was the reason? And I didn't want people to think that I was showing off. However, I thought it was something cool. I wish I shared it, but now I don't have it.
Yeah.
So can you hand
happens.
me the vision board, Helen? Do you guys have a vision board? Do you have a vision board, Angel?
I do.
Okay.
I've had vision boards. I have one. They're good to update them, as you reach your goals.
Not sure if you see that guy right there. That's me. After I get really buff and trimmed, it might take a while. I'm hairy though. I think I got that part covered. But the reason I was bringing this up, Angel, is the Porsche that you want. You want a Porsche or a Ferrari, right?
Porsche.
A Porsche. Well, they call them Porsche.
I don't know if I pronounce it correct.
Porsche.
Sometimes it's Porsche.
So, anyways, that's on my vision board, a Porsche. And here, right next to it, there's a Jeep truck. And so when I replaced my car, I didn't replace it with another Beamer. After you buy one of those cars and then reading the book, The Millionaire Next Door, you start thinking about stupid stuff that you spend your money on.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. The repairs are super expensive. I changed a set of tires and it was like $2,000. And I'm like, what?
Yes.
So anyways, I'm not going to go back to BMW. I had it. I wore the T-shirt and I literally did. I got a little coffee mug.
Never saw it.
It was super expensive too. But anyways, I got me a Jeep, and I love hiking. I love the outdoors. So I got me a Jeep, and I'm excited. I'm going to take a picture with it. I'm going to post it because I'm proud of it.
Cool.
And the reason I bring this up is a lot of times we're afraid to share our successes because we feel that some other people may feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm proud that I'm able to come to this country and be able to reap the benefits of the American dream, you can say.
Well, and I think better than saying that you're proud, I think you're very grateful.
Very grateful.
So, which is even better than being proud. I mean, you can be proud about having the children that you have, but you're even grateful for the fact that you were able to have the children, the family you have, and so on. And with the Jeep, now you're part of this family. My daughter had a Jeep, and I guess there's hand gestures and signals when you're
I'm not
driving
there
around.
yet.
You got to be. You're part of the community now. So make sure you honk to your fellow Jeepsters and say these signals and hi to them.
You wouldn't
So
understand because you don't own a Jeep.
I don't have a Jeep, but
But the reason I brought that up is Angel has a dream of a car, and everything that we have right now was at one point a dream. So they're the dream. That was my point with that, and it's okay to dream big, and go for crazy stuff because it's possible, right?
Yeah. Well, it is possible if you put your mind to it. I mean, that's really down to the nitty gritty of things, the mindset, and the willpower will kick in. It's what you feed your mind that the results will come, if depending on how you feed your mind and your spirit as well. And so, having said all that, more importantly, what are we looking at with regard to the real estate market here in Phoenix right now?
Well, I've been looking at the inventory, and we're going to show you guys. So right now, and this is in real time right now, there's 6533 homes available and coming soon. What does that mean? Out there in the market, only in Maricopa County, single family detached. So I'm going to be very clear and specific because I know people are going to start looking into it and seeing, is that right? And this number changes daily. So as of right now, today is July 6th. It's about 1:55 p.m. and this is going to be recorded. So it's right now it's 6533 homes available in the market. Why am I saying that? When COVID hit, Angel, we had about 9,000 homes in the inventory.
Yes.
And we had a rush. I mean, people were buying houses left and right. There was lines getting into homes.
Yes.
Right?
It was a frenzy.
So, exactly. So right now we have 6,500 homes available. Now, under contract, what this means is these properties, somebody has already a contract secured, meaning that they're going to be closing in the next, 15 to 30 days. And that number is 5,000 homes.
Wow.
5,050. So you have 6,500 available and 5,000 under contract. So it's about the same absorption rate, right? They're being absorbed. In the last 30 days, we have closed, let's see, 4,356.
It's a good chunk.
Exactly. So there's 6,500 homes available. There's 4,300 under contract. And I mean, that just goes to show you that the inventory is shrinking pretty quickly. And what's happening is, and Angel's been seeing it out there, right? I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of things changing. So what do you see out there, Angel, with the new builds?
Well, the new builds are big competition for anyone that's considering selling their existing home. So you have the resale side, which is
The
homes-
regular competition?
Yeah, and then you have the new home builders. The new home builders have been extremely aggressive with the incentives.
Yep.
Now, what I've noticed is that the prices are beginning to increase with the new home builders, and the incentives are beginning to drop. And they gauge it, and this is not just one home builder. This is multiple home builders.
Yep.
For example, one was providing 6% concession or incentives, should I say, towards rate buy down and towards down payment correction. Yes,
down payment.
closing costs,
Yep.
and so on.
So what is a concession for those people that don't know what a concession is?
Well, concession, for example, if you place an offer and you can request for the seller to provide you a concession, concede, or give you a gift, if you will, of, for example, maybe 3% of the purchase price
Okay.
for a rate buy down with your respective lender.
What is a rate buy down?
Well, because of the rates having gone up, and that's kind of the primary focus in the real estate market nowadays, you can potentially buy down your rate, bring down your interest rate, therefore impacting positively what your mortgage payment will be and what you can qualify for.
Okay.
So you're able to purchase more house.
And have a smaller payment, right?
Correct.
So a lot of people are scared of the payment shock, and they're saying, well, the rates are super high and we don't want to get in. Well, just know that the inventory, due to the inventory shortage, meaning that there's less and less homes available for sale. And let me give you one example why the inventory is dropping. If you bought a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you have a 2 or 3% interest rate. Your payment is probably anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 to $1,800. Again, we're talking the West Valley, not Scottsdale. So your payment is super comfortable, right? I mean, you can't even rent the property for that amount.
Yes.
So what's happening is a lot of buyers were scared and they didn't want to jump in because of the rates. Well, the problem now is that the inventory is shrinking, and those people that need to buy need to buy.
Yes.
And with all the movement that we have in our city, in our county, there's a lot of development, a lot of companies moving in with a lot of people, and these people need homes.
Correct.
These homes need services. those people that provide those services need homes. And as you can see, there's a snowball effect. So the reason we wanted to talk about this today is because if you wait too long, you're going to pay more. And who knows where the rates are going to go.
Yeah.
Right now, get used to what the new norm is. Like we're saying about the other stuff that I didn't want to talk about, COVID. It's the new normal, right? It's not going to be, if they drop, just imagine, let's say you bought a house a year ago, Angel. Do you know the average in the West Valley, how much the properties dropped since last year? And until December.
Yeah, it depends the neighborhood, but you could have 100,000, 80,000 drop in price because of the impact that the increase in rates. Correct.
Yep. So the rates went up. People stopped buying. Prices dropped until December. Since December, and we're going to show you here this graph, is you can notice here that the prices hit bottom around December.
Yeah.
And the prices have already come up about 6%. So if you owned or purchased a home in January for $500,000, that 6% equals to $30,000 in equity.
Yeah.
Now, what does that mean? I mean, unless you sell the house, it doesn't really matter, right? So,
Correct.
But it just makes you feel good that now your house is not under, like other people last year they purchased, their value is under. However, their payment's smaller than yours because the rate was lower. So
it's a matter of perspective.
Exactly.
I mean, but one thing I do want to mention is I've had clients that go on Zillow, Movado, or Redfin, and all these different websites, and they're scanning what the prices are.
They're not real.
They're not real. And then I obviously explain to them, you know, you look at the particular price, but what if you can actually afford that house and pay the mortgage? Seeing what you can pay on a monthly basis is ultimately what's going to tell you if you can move forward or not with this particular house that you're looking at. If you're looking at just the price, you're not looking at what potentially can happen with a concession. Exactly. I had a client that received 4% concession plus a price reduction. He made out, 4%
awesome.
Plus a price reduction of about $10,000 or $15,000.
So there's a lot of opportunities out there, guys, that if you don't know, you don't know. And that's the reason we do this show. It's not to sell you, but to inform you and let you know what the market is doing so you can take advantage of it. And I know I repeat this often, but when is the best time to plant a tree, Angel? 20 years ago?
Maybe 30.
30 would be best, right?
I mean, someone was telling me, you know what, Angel? I was going to buy a house 3 years ago. And for this reason or that reason, I didn't.
Right.
And now I'm looking at where we are with the market. Oh, I think I'm going to wait. And why would you wait?
They keep doing the same thing over and over. Yeah. What was that called by Einstein? Insanity?
Yeah. I mean, if this gentleman's going to wait another 3 years, he's going to even feel worse because you ain't getting any younger every day, right? You get older.
I just had a conversation this morning, and you know I tell this quite often, and these are true stories, guys. This lady, she's in her late 40s, and she's so desperate to get a home. And she says, Juan, I want to get my house. I cannot do it. And it was for other reasons, right? She first of all didn't have the documentation to get there. So she needs to wait until January next year to buy a home. But if she could purchase now, she would. She's 49 years old, and she allowed me to share her story. And she says, you know what? I'm like, can I share this? He's like, yeah, because I'm telling my kid who is 20 years old to get into a house. He's actually going to be the one helping me co-sign for this property. So people that know, that have lived, they wish they could have, should have, would have before, but now it's too late. And it's not too late. The problem is if they don't do it now, they're just delaying their pain.
Well, I would use that should have, would have, could have experience and help someone else that's under, age, or I would start talking to the 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and start talking about home ownership. It's very important. And maybe you can help them not fall prey into this, I'll wait for later and later and later. We mention these kind of things quite often, and people may say, you're going back at it again. Well, there's a reason for it.
Exactly. We don't want people to keep suffering this. And again, it breaks my heart. She's like, man, I wish I could have bought, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But now this is where we're at. And unfortunately, it's not late, but in her mind, it's like, man, I wish I could have done it.
I say that too. I mean, I bought my first property when I was 28 years old. And it was because someone was at me. Angel, why do you keep paying rent? I was 28 years old, and I wasn't thinking about home ownership. But it was this one individual. He kept at it took him like 6
Was he a
months.
realtor?
He wasn't a realtor. He was a friend, but he believed in real estate. He could have been a realtor. He should have been a realtor.
Yep.
And you know what? He got me thinking, but it wasn't just one conversation. It was multiple conversations, and he was bold. He was very on it, and he got me thinking. And I started looking at houses, and what's the first thing to do? Boom, go see a lender. You got to get pre-qualified. Because if I start beginning to dream about this beautiful house that I want, and I start looking at houses, and I don't even know if I qualify for it, then that could really break your heart.
Definitely.
So you have to have, let reality kick in. You dream, but also keep in mind that you have to be real about what your budget can allow for you to purchase. So, but that's the scenario.
I got to share something, and it's biblical. Today's version, I read the Bible verse in the morning, and this week's, or today's actually, verse of the day is, let me see, it's loading up. Can you open this in English, Angel? Or if you can translate it? It's basically about asking for it.
Oh, because of everyone that asks shall receive, and he who seeks shall find, and
He who knocks.
the door shall be open.
So you can't just wish for things, right? And Angel mentions this quite often, which I respect a lot, because you cannot just wish and not take action. God will help you, and again, we believe in God, so that's how we live our life. And basically, you cannot just wait for things to happen. You have to take action. You can give us a call. You can text us. We're here for you. And yes, we do videos, and we've had in comments where they say, "Well, I don't know if we can call you, dude. We're here for you.
Yeah,
we do this. We're able to do it this way, and that doesn't mean we're unreachable. We are reachable, and if we don't answer, there's people that work with us that will answer the phone, and we'll help you, and we'll get you to where you need to be at in order for you to purchase a home.
Now, we have our fair share of haters.
100%.
I know that, and I've been encountered by haters, and I greet them cordially, and we even have cordial debates and conversations. But you got to understand that not everyone out there is willing to pay the price.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone out there is willing to put forth the effort required to gain success in life. They are more in tune to being stagnant and talking about the one that is succeeding in life. And then they hold a grudge, and they become envious, and then they begin to label you and say you're greedy because you want so many things, and all these kind of conversations that get thrown out and about. But you have to kind of remain focused.
100%.
You can't control the way people think, right? What you can control is what you can do.
Yep.
You can make your decisions and your choices, okay? Life is made up of the choices that we make.
And those are the results you're going to get. So where you're at is the result of the steps you've taken or you have not taken, because not taking action is also taking action.
Correct.
You're deciding not to take action, so that's an action as well.
My old man used to say that
Right.
all the time. And that really stuck a chord in me because inaction is a decision of not acting. So therefore, it's kind of like you're a person that has the ability to move in the direction that you would like to. Willpower,
Definitely.
discipline is required, and effort, and then consistency.
Yep.
I sometimes fail. I become frustrated. Do I not? Yes, because I'm human. But it's how you deal with frustrations. You either use it as the steam, build the
Catapult.
steam, and then move forward. Because there are going to be times where you get hit. It's like boxing. You can train all you want, and then you get in the ring. You're going to get hit really hard. They'll probably knock you down.
Was it Mike Tyson that said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the
Oh, yeah. So what do you do when you get hit really hard is
Get up and go.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what we're trying to say here, guys, is that take action. Don't just sit there. If you own a home, awesome. Congratulations. If you bought in the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you did amazing. We can show you how to invest and how to put your money to work. That's another thing that we're doing. We're doing our seminars. We have the other one scheduled for October 14th. We hope to see you there. We had a great turnout. We had a great response. We had great feedback. Was it perfect? No, it was our first one, and we're going to continue to doing them to improve them. And with that, our goal, and they're free, our goal is to reach out to the community and provide them with the information they need so they can go out there and improve their situation, their financial situation. And obviously, we want to help you in every which way, and we're here for that.
Well, this is why I like wearing red, because it's like, yeah, being a firefighter, sometimes you got to do a controlled fire. Okay?
Yep.
You ignite the fire. And the objective of the seminars is to ignite fire within the people. There's some folks that have come to the seminars, have approached me afterwards and say, you know what? I had a little seed in me that was building up. It wanted to kind of grow, but I didn't know what to do. And then coming to the seminar, boom, it was that ignition that was required. And now they're moving further and growing and expanding their dreams.
Because they're seeing now, and one of the things one of the reasons we do it is most people have that desire. And like Angel was saying earlier, those haters, people that don't want you to succeed, is because you're gonna call them out on their BS because they can do it, but they just haven't made that decision. Now, if they don't want to grow, that's fine. But if you have that hunger, that seed in you that you want to grow, we can help you. And we're not gonna bring you in to twist your arm and you know, punch and say, hey, you got to move, make a move. Our goal is to inform you so you can make the best decision for you and your family. If it sounds like it's something you want to do, great. If you think it's scary and you don't want to take a chance, don't do it, but continue to learn so you can, maybe your kids will see it, and then you can see how they succeed. And I mean, that's how I got into investing. We own several rental properties, and we got there by learning from others, learning from other people's mistakes. Do I make mistakes? Have I very expensive mistakes? Yeah. So we want to teach you how to do it correctly so that you can get to that point in your life where you're not just providing for your family, but you're creating and building wealth, where wealth is different than being rich. Right, Angel?
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time. I mean, the haters, on many occasions, the ones that I've encountered, and if you understand what I mean by haters, I think most people do.
People that would look, they'll look at a beautiful scenery and they'll say, oh, look, there's a dark cloud over there, when the rest of it is beautiful.
I think they suffer, the ones that I've encountered, from victimization.
Yep.
They victimize and they blame everyone else for whatever it is that they don't like about themselves.
Exactly.
And when you allow that to happen in your life, you victimize yourself, you are now taking away the wings. You are clipping whatever wings you had to fly and soar, okay? Productivity in your life drops, okay? Because you're constantly thinking about how comfortable can I become in life. And the reason I'm not living comfortable because of the neighbor, because of the pastor, because of my brother or whoever else. It's always someone else's fault.
Exactly.
And it reduces your ability to succeed in life. And that's the kind of person that I would suggest to kind of steer clear from.
And we mention this quite often. You're the 5 people you hang out with. And if you hang out with whoever you hang out, just keep in check, right? Check see how much they make. I know it's uncomfortable, but we have to talk about money. And that's one thing that we're going to continue talking about. And then the relationships you have, your health, and your bank account. You know, it's all going to determine your network is going to be your net worth.
Yeah, it's you mentioned money, and that's kind of like a bad juju. Money is a tool, and you could do very good things with money. But I know that some in society say you're always talking about money, and money isn't everything. Mm-mm. And then you're always focused on the material things. But again, to each their own. It's unfortunate that many times these folks end up doing GoFundMe. I had one of these individuals do a GoFundMe because they needed 4 brand new tires. The fact is, some of these folks that talk badly about money and how it's not
they don't have any.
Well, I mean, these are the folks that unfortunately, when they have an issue, they'll go do a GoFundMe because they need 4 brand new tires. I actually saw this.
Right.
I need 4 brand new tires, and I'm doing this GoFundMe so I can go buy tires. Really. So they're making...
For tires.
They're making their responsibilities, okay, their financial obligations and responsibilities someone else's burden.
And you know what? The cool thing about America is most people are very generous, you know. And I bet you he got his tires, right? But that's basically, like you said, giving your responsibility to someone else.
I mean, it's
I don't think that's cool. But anyways, that's just 10 cents on the dollar.
But going back to the real estate market, folks, it is very active. I've been out there in the trenches and the new home builders. If you're going to go see a new home builder, I highly suggest you take a proactive realtor. And I would love to be that realtor, right, Juan?
Yep.
So, of course, it doesn't have to be, but I'm just saying Word to the wise.
We have other team members, so if you don't like how we look or how we present ourselves, we can connect you with the right agents.
And the reason I say that is it's not going to cost you
Yep,
anything. But the fact remains is that representative that is working on behalf of the builder is
working on behalf of the builder.
Correct.
He doesn't work for you, so he doesn't have your best interest in mind. He's going to show you the property. He's going to tell you he's got you, but at the end of the day, is you want somebody working on your behalf
and
to make sure that
they're really
everything's
good people.
well. Oh yeah, they are.
I know several of them, really nice folks.
We have beautiful reports with them.
Ultimately, they work for their boss, and then I would, me as your realtor, would be representing you.
And your best interest. And negotiating, because there's a lot of, this is what most people don't understand, that you can save them thousands of dollars by going in there.
Yes,
so
indeed.
Reach out. We're here to help, and thank you for watching.
And have a wonderful afternoon. God bless.
God bless you.